Welcome, I am Dr. Alfara. In this video, I show you how to find temperature and velocity distribution laminar nanofluid flow in a 2D horizontal channel. Our objective is simulate a steady laminar flow of water Al2O3 nanofluid or aluminum oxide nanofluid in a horizontal channel with heated wall. This is our inlet boundary condition, outlet boundary condition, insulation boundary condition, and here we have heat flux boundary condition. The objective is find the outlet temperature, also velocity and temperature distribution inside the channel. It is very important to note that we have only single phase flow because the volume fraction of the solid or the nanosolid is very low and the particle diameter also is low. So only we need to modify the physical property of nanofluid. Here we have the physical property for water and Al2O3 nanofluids. So here you see that we have thermal conductivity, density, heat capacity, and viscosity for each phase. These are our physical property for a nanofluid for the volume fraction of 0.04. Calculation, the effective thermal conductivity, we use this equation. For the density, we use this equation. And for heat capacity and dynamic viscosity, we use this equation. So you see that for all equation, we have a thermal conductivity of fluid, thermal conductivity of non-fluid, and also we have a volume fraction. Also for density, we have density of a fluid and density of nanoparticle. Here you see that. This is the method that we use for simulating nanofluid flow in a channel or the tube. So only we use single phase flow, but we use these physical properties. For Earth the simulation, let's mount COMSOL Multiphysics. Click on Model Wizard, click on 2D, let's mount to fluid flow, single phase flow, and select laminar flow. Click on Add, heat transfer in fluids, and click on Add. Click on Study. We have steady state simulation, so click on Stationary and click on Done. First, we define the parameters. We have thermal conductivity, the effective thermal conductivity. This value is 0.0713. Okay, so we have defined our physical properties of our model. So let's move on to geometry. We have a rectangle. The height is 0.2. Let's select. Okay. Because we use effective physical properties, we do not need to define the material. So let's move on to laminar flow. Define inlet boundary condition. This value is 0.01. And also outlet boundary. This is a pressure or relative pressure. Okay, so let's mount heat transfer and fluid. Right click, click on temperature. The inlet temperature is 300 kelvins. Flow condition, outflow, we select this boundary. And finally, we select heat flux. This value is 5000. The unit is watt per square meters. Okay, so let's mount to fluid 1. And the velocity field, we use the laminar flow. So here you see that we have SPF for laminar flow, so we select it. Okay, so for the calculation, the temperature, we need the velocity, and the velocity is calculated from the laminar flow. Okay, so let's move on to physical properties 1. We use the effective density and effective viscosity. Okay, for fluid 1, in heat transfer and fluids, we use effective thermal conductivity that we have defined in a parameter section. And the fluid type, gas liquid, the density, is effective density and the Cp is effective heat capacity at the constant pressure. So the ratio of specific heat is automatics. Okay, now let's move on to mesh 1 and we select, okay, click on stationary and compute the model. This is our velocity distribution, okay. This is a pressure, and finally we have a temperature. So if we zoom it, the temperature increase this region because we have heat flux. Now we want to calculate the outlet temperature. So there is values, right click and click on average, long average, and select this boundary and calculate the temperature. You see that we have 300.020 the Kelvin. The temperature at the outlet increases very low, so we can use the lower value or lower inlet velocity for the increased temperature. So we use 0.01 and back to stationary and compute again. When the velocity decreases, the temperature increases because we have lower heat convection. So you see that here, align average 1 and evaluate again. So the temperature increase 1 degree. So another method to increase the outlet temperature, we need to increase the heat flux. So if we use a higher heat flux and run again the model, we can compute. Now let's move to line average 1 and evaluate again. Here you see that we have higher temperature compared to the other models. So the temperature increased. Let's move on to temperature distribution. Here you see that the temperature significantly increases this region.